guys, and welcome to your March 2021 reading. We are going to be taking a look at how you and your love interests are feeling for this month. We are entering Pisces season, so I do want to go over just a couple different little notes so you are aware and that you can use the most benefit of the energy of Pisces this month. I am going to use several decks while we go look into love. We're going to really dive in because Pisces season is overall a very sentimental and very compassionate type of energy for the month. We're really able to look beyond kind of some of those surface situations, and some of those dreamy vibes, even for the most cynical person, can really start to come out, and you can just kind of get an opportunity to really enter into that world and explore some of your emotions and kind of get your senses going into all of that. I really want to point out that your intuition and your ability to tap into that and experience those serendipities and those coincidences are going to be kind of striking this month. I mean, you're really going to stand out, and you're going to have an opportunity to either acknowledge them and realize that this is really something, or you can ignore them. I would definitely recommend doing some periodic reality checks. That would be wise, especially if it includes money or wellness or love or any of those things. Just make sure you're kind of coming from a very practical standpoint. Keeping your third eye chakra is going to be very important, because it does involve communication and creativity. Well, not as much communication, but it does involve a clear connection, almost on an intuitive and spiritual level. So you want to keep that flowing, and it's really it does have more to do with that intuitive type of sense. So if you feel like you need to get that open, if you feel like you have a blockage there, we can definitely look into that, so you can reach out and ask me about that. Lots of water this month, you guys. I can't even stress that enough. It is, for whatever reason, it just definitely stands out this month to try to keep that flow, going. You definitely want to keep your channels open and keep your body in the best health possible. And definitely sit down with a notebook if you start noticing you guys have dreams, or these repetitive types of situations, or things are just kind of, you try to put the puzzle pieces together. Start writing the puzzle pieces down so that you can really do that at some point that you feel comfortable. At this point, just let it go. If you got some grudges you're holding on to, some things that you just kind of governs how you feel and how you're doing things and how you're applying your energy, really take a moment and reflect on that, identify it, and just get it out the door. It's really the perfect time to release that. Pisces season and energy can certainly illuminate some of those things, and you really don't want to fall victim to that mentality, as opposed to just kind of rising above that and dealing with the change that needs to take place. Other than that, allow yourself to romanticize, let go, and just allow this. It can be intense, the Pisces season, so you might as well make the most of it in a romantic way, to where you not only can kind of have this glamour shine to those around you, and the person that you do have a love interest in, they can kind of see that a little bit softer side of you, that you kind of open up your heart space and open up that ability to communicate and get on that same page. If that's the other person that needs to be doing that, you can expect a little bit more of that coming from them. Overall, it's going to be much better to come out of that shell and to not be, hard-nosed to it, or criticizing yourself or the possibilities and the potential of the relationship. Okay, so just keep the vibes high and allow yourself to just kind of deepen that connection with the person that you're interested in. Okay, so we have a couple things that we're going to look at this month: how they feel about you, kind of understanding where some of those blockages are, why you might be feeling the way that you've been feeling. We're going to dive into some strategies that can help and kind of identify what's out of balance, and get you the most information that you can possibly use to get your relationship and love life in the exact position that you'd like it to be. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see how things are looking for you. Okay, Caps, let's take a look at how the person you're interested in feels about you. And we'll just kind of go from there and see how you're doing and any kind of imbalances you need to be aware of, and why you might be feeling certain ways. Alright, so we'll start with how this person feels about you. March 2021. Alright, the Chariot here. Good sign, I like that. Anything else? Wondering, is this maybe they're a little bit hesitant and they're, on recognizing, where they really want this to go. Maybe it's due to past situations that have taken place. Maybe it's just a bit of a fear of commitment. But they're definitely ready to say, something here. They're at that crossroad where this is it, this is what they want to do, but they just want to make sure. They're kind of a slow and steady kind of person, which, you admire. They want it to go well, and they want to make all the best decisions, and pursue this in the best way for the best successful, route to take. Page of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the reverse. So, Page of Pentacles, I think they're more or less afraid of rejection, is what it is, or one of the two of you is. But in the end, the way this will go out is it will not go down the way that either of you are fearing it. Instead, I see that things are going to take its course, slow and steady, kind of wins the race. It's going to slow down enough for you guys to really enjoy what it means to, have that courage to allow things to just take its own course. And even if things don't necessarily maybe work out in the speed that you want it to, or even if there's things that come up that might make it, take its own natural course as opposed to the course you want, it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily having, it doesn't necessarily mean it has no potential. It's a lesson for you guys to learn so that you can really see and feel what it is and what it means to have, each other and to take that adventure together. And just maybe it's a last few little things that need to be experienced, together to really build that relationship and that connection with each other, okay? Probable outcome here, we've got the Moon, we've got the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. Alright, so overall I'd say that this is you guys being able to know the difference between illusion and how to balance things that might be a little bit disappointing, but you still don't want to jeopardize the connection that you have. So what you guys have built, you're seeing as something that is worth, moving forward and seeing where this goes. And I feel like this is kind of saying that you're going to learn a lot about each other pretty quickly, enough to really have a pretty strong connection. Alright, so let's take a look and see, understand how and why you've been feeling the way that you've been feeling. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. So that's not only being in a position where you're able to give love and receive love, but it's also, if you're wanting something, it's putting it all out there exactly the way that you want it, not settling, not accepting anything less than what you feel like you deserve, and that really brings something that you can appreciate, and that opportunity is what really brings growth and love to the situation. And I think that's been something that you guys have struggled with in the past, because it's almost tough for Capricorns to be okay to ask for something that they feel might be a little bit more than I don't know, like too good to be true almost, to ask for exactly what it is you want, but to settle is nothing you'll accept, but almost reaching for the top is something that you feel like you almost don't deserve. And so it's really finding that confidence and that balance with, you absolutely do, and it's about being confident enough to say, this is what I want, and that's what I'm waiting for, and then going with that. Physical touch, I can see this, a lot of you are definitely in need of that type of interaction with somebody. The communication, the physical interactions, all of those things are definitely something I feel like you have been needing to have in your life. Being supportive and making a genuine effort to show you care. So I actually get the feeling like Capricorns, you're kind of, taking this step by step and being very aware and being very, not cautious, but every action, every decision is very intentional, and you're taking them very seriously and carefully as you kind of approach these decisions. See what part of this you're dealing with here. What of this are you addressing? So forgiveness, past things. You don't want to bring anything old into the new. If it's been tough to relax and it's been tough to be patient, go back to what works. And remember that the more at ease you are, the better the relationship can grow, the more you can bring in. But if you're holding on to things and you're not able to just relax and deal with things on a patient level, then it is going to be kind of a struggle to find that that balance so that you can let something new in, even something that could be very, very important or very special that you didn't even know was getting ready to come into your life. But I think a lot of you have been asking for this. Joy is something that you can look forward to, good communication, and healthy boundaries. So I would say that this is something to certainly take into consideration and take seriously. Work on patience if that's been tough. Work on how to meditate and relax yourself if that's been something you've been struggling with. Forgive things if you're holding on to things from the past. Those things are what's going to bring you into a better way of communicating, a better way of feeling that peace, and being able to recognize those healthy boundaries or establish them. Okay? All right. Oh my goodness, excuse me. All right. Where might things be a little bit out of balance? Cause and effect. So being aware of that, it's just being consciously aware of the things that you put out into the universe do create and do turn into something. And that's something important to be aware of, and to live by. What you put out comes back, and that's important to know. Releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving openness through the loving energy of openness. And that's a way that you can help restore that imbalance, is to allow yourself to release those restrictions, to release whatever it is you're holding on to that's creating an imbalance or that barrier, that wall, and feel that balance and that connection. Otherwise, if you can't, then that's going to be a struggle to feel that balance and that connection, to feel that joy, to feel that connection with somebody. If you have this constant emotional blockage up, that's not going to create anything. But trust and having, intuition, being able to listen to it, having faith and connecting with all of that, that is something that certainly will work. That's something that can bring a very good connection, a solid connection, something that can last and create a long-term type of deal, all right? All right, I hope that helps with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions or you want to look at your particular situation in person. All my information on how to book a reading is down below. Otherwise, have a great month. We will see you guys next month. Much love.